and data prevention. Also worried that the data leakage in the public sector discredits the government, weakens the action plan, and undermines the national security of the country. I resolve that the House resolved that we create a joint committee of national security intelligence, information technology, and defense to carry out a forensic data storage, data protection, and flow of information of all our security agents. In addition, inspect the level of data security operated by the Nigerian Immigration, Nigerian Customs, and the Nigerian Identity Management Commission and other data collection agency. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Order, please. Honorable colleagues.
Honorable colleagues, any seconder to this motion? Honorable Dennis.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues. My name is Honorable Dennis Idahosa. I represent Ovia Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Edo State. I rise to second this motion, ably moved by my colleague. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to Nigerian Immigration Service, NSA, and which other committee? Just NSA, right? And okay, this motion is referred to the Committee on NSA, National Security, Information Technology, and Defense. Thank you. I would like to recognize Honorable Akintunde Rotimi, Jr. Is he around? Honorable Rotimi, please, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, thank you for the privilege. My name is Akitunde Rotimi Jr. I represent the good people of Ekiti North 1 Federal Constituency constituting Ikole and Oye local governments. Mr. Speaker, I come under Order 8, Rule 7, to seek the leave of the House to suspend the provisions of Order 8, Rule 4, to be able to move this motion of urgent public importance.
Any seconder to the first leg? Honorable Maki.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My honorable colleagues, I'm Abubakar Maki Eleman. I'm from Jigawa State. I represent Malamudur Kaugama Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I stand to second the motion heavily moved by my honorable colleague. I so second. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Seconder to the second leg. Honorable Dixon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Dixon Thaki, OON. I represent Makodi Guma Federal Constituency. I'm from Benue State. Speaker, I rise to second the second leg of the motion ably moved by my colleague. I so second. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Rotimi, please lead.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues. This motion is on the need for urgent intervention on the Ikole Omo Road, which has completely collapsed. Mr. Speaker, the House notes the importance of roads as veritable tools for economic development, and good roads play a crucial role in enhancing the economy and security in various ways. We also note that good roads allow security agencies and medical services to respond to emergencies quickly and efficiently. Now, we are aware that all federal roads that exit Ekiti to Akure, Lagos, Ibadan, Kogi, and other states have collapsed. Also aware that the Ikole Omo Road has been neglected for a long time and has degenerated into an impassable route for the people of Ikole in particular and other Nigerians in general. Further aware that Ikole Omuo Road has broken down completely.
Order, please, order. Honorable Martins, Honorable Obi, please, can you find your seats?
Further aware that
And Jimmy Benson, can you sit properly, please?
Further aware that the road has broken down completely due to its total dilapidation as a result of government's lack of attention over a long period. Worried that the situation has led to the presence of strange faces in the communities of Odoayedu, Ayebode, and Okeayedu, proximate to the roads, leading to heightened insecurity in Ikole and Ikole-Oye Federal Constituency. Also worried that more than 300 articulated vehicles have been stranded on the roads for the past 8 weeks, leading to total blockade of the roads. Further
Dr.
worried that
Falake, are we together? Dr. Falake? Sure.
Yes. Further worried that if the road is not fixed, there could be a complete breakdown of law and order, and transportation will be grounded to a halt in the federal constituency. Concerned that this has led to a resurgence of kidnapping, banditry, and armed robberies on that stretch of road. Cognizant that this has affected the people's economic mainstay, which is farming, leading to low food production and hardship for commuters generally. Mr. Speaker, the House resolves to urge Mr. President and the Ministry of Works to commence immediate rehabilitation and reconstruction of Ikole Omuo roads in Ikole-Oye Federal Constituency to save the people from this quagmire. Mandate the House Committees on Works and Legislative Compliance to ensure compliance and report back to the House within 2 weeks. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Yes, Honorable, go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, fellow colleagues. My name is Honorable Engineer Dominic Ifeanyi Chukwuokafo. I represent the good people of Agata Federal Constituency in Anambra State. I rise this morning to second this very important motion, ably moved by my friend. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the Committee on Works and Legislative Compliance for further legislative inputs. Honorable members, the first business of the day is presentation of 25 bills. I now invite the clerk to read their short titles.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. Nigerian Health Infrastructure Development Establishment Bill 2023, first reading. University Teaching Hospitals Constitution of Board Act Amendment Bill 2023, first reading. Finance Act Amendment Bill 2023, first reading. Corporate Social Responsibility Commission Establishment Bill 2023, first reading. National Open Institute of Vocational Skills Apprenticeship and Entrepreneurship Establishment Bill 2023, first reading. Federal College of Nursing and Midwifery, Abibo Rodo, Delta State Establishment Bill 2023, first reading. Federal Institute of Fisheries Research, Ogidigben, Delta State Establishment Bill 2023, first reading. Federal Medical Centers Act Amendment Bill 2023, first reading. Police Academy Act Amendment Bill 2023, first reading. National Intelligence Commission Establishment Bill 2023, first reading. Federal Institute of Vocational and Technical Education, Obiaruku, Delta State Establishment Bill 2023, first reading. Private Gas Companies Act Amendment Bill 2023, first reading. Federal Colleges of Education Act Amendment Bill 2023, first reading. Public Procurement Act Amendment Bill 2023, first reading. Central Bank of Nigeria Amendment Bill 2023, first reading. Federal Road Safety Commission Amendment Bill 2023, first reading. Federal College of Entrepreneurship and Skill Acquisition, Fagi, Kano State Establishment Bill 2023, first reading. Federal Colleges of Education Act Amendment Bill 2023, first reading. Federal Medical Centers Act Amendment Bill 2023, first reading. Federal Colleges of Education Act Amendment Bill 2023, first reading. Northeast Development Commission Act Amendment Bill 2023, first reading. National Council on Climate Change Act Repeal and Enactment Bill 2023, first reading. Abuja Building Regulatory Agency Establishment Bill 2023, first reading. Federal University of Education Technical Gombe State Establishment Bill 2023, first reading. Chartered Institute for Social Entrepreneurship and Leadership of Nigeria Establishment Bill 2023, first reading.
The second business of the day is presentation of Committee on Appropriation on a bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation the total sum of 2,176,791,286,033 naira, of which 18 billion naira is for statutory transfers, 1,033,471,182 naira is for recurrent non-debt expenditure, while the sum of 1,125,320,123,660 naira is for contribution to the development fund for capital expenditure for the year ending 31st December 2023. Standing in the name of Honorable Abubakar Kabir Abubakar, honorable members, we recall that the bill was referred to the committee on Tuesday, 31st October 2023. The report is ready for presentation. Honorable Abubakar is hereby invited to present the report.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I'm Honorable Abubakar Bichi, member representing Bichi Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I'm from Kano State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that the House do receive the report of the Committee on Appropriations on bill for an act to authorize the issue from consolidated revenue funds of the Federation the total sum of 2,761,791,286,033 naira only, which 18 billion naira only is for statutory transfers, while 1,333,471,162,373 naira only is for recurrent non-debt expenditure, while the sum of 1,125,320,123,660 naira only is for contribution to the development fund for capital expenditure for the year ending 31st December 2023. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Honorable Faleke, can you second?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is James Abiodun Faleke. I represent Ikeja Federal Constituency. I rise to second the motion as moved by the Chairman of Appropriation. So second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Please proceed and lay your report. The third business of the day is presentation or report of the ad hoc committee on the need to investigate the utilization of ecological funds to Great Green Wall by the international organizations from 2015 to date, and all federal allocation to the National Agency for the Great Green Wall, as well as contract awarded to various contractors for the project from 2019 to date, standing in the name of Honorable Ismail Haruna Dabo, Honorable members will recall that the matter was referred to the committee on Thursday, 13 July 2023. The report is ready for presentation. Orodabo is hereby invited to present his report.
Thank you. My name is Honorable Dabo Ismail Haruna, member representing the good people of Toro Federal Constituency. I'm from Bauchi State. Permit me to move the motion on the need to investigate, to submit a report on the need to investigate the utilization of ecological funds to Great Green Wall by the international organizations from 2015 to date, and also on all federal allocations to the National Agency for the Great Green Wall, as well as contract awarded to various contractors from the project from 2019 to date. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Honorable Abaruna.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I am Bello Isa Ambarura, member representing the good people of Elela and Gorba Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Sokoto State. Mr. Speaker, I rise up to second the motion ably moved by my colleague Samaila Dabo. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Dabo, please go ahead and lay your report. The first order of the day is the commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to enact the Nigerian content non-oil and gas sector development to establish the Nigerian Content and Gas, the Nigerian Content Development Council, and to provide for programs and structure for the use of the Nigerian expertise made in Nigerian goods and services, economic diversification, and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Ogundu Kingsley Chinda and 38 other members. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Wednesday, 12 July 2023. I now invite Honorable Chinda to move that the bill be read for the second time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My dear colleagues, Kingsley Chinda, I represent Obiabo Federal Constituency. I'm an Ikore man from River State. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I rise for myself and on behalf of 38 other members to move that a bill for an act to enact
Honorable
the
colleagues,
Nigerian
please
content
return to your seats, please.
non-oil and gas sector development to establish the Nigerian Content Non-Oil and Gas Sector Development Council and to provide for program and structure for the use of Nigerian expertise made in Nigerian goods and services, economic diversification, and for related matters, HB 59, be read a second time. I so move.
Any seconder? Honorable Nolan.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, my name is Nolemo Naji from Enugu State, representing Nkano East West Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the bill as moved by my colleague and minority leader of Uchinda. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Chenda, please lead the debate.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues. The bill, briefly, it's to extend the Nigerian content to non-oil and gas sectors. And of course, you will recall that severally we have said that for every revolution, particularly economic revolution, that the Parliament plays a crucial role. We are therefore called upon this morning to commence that by adopting this bill, passing it with the speed of light, and ensuring that it's assented to. The current Nigerian content bill, we are aware, covers the oil and gas sector. And therefore, having practiced it, we have seen the revolution it brought in the oil and gas sector. There is need for us to expand that to non-oil and gas sector. This bill has 42 parts, consisting of 325 clauses. The objective of the bill, clearly, like I said, is to extend Nigerian content, Nigerian expertise, encourage our Nigerians to participate fully in other sectors outside oil and gas.
Honorable colleagues, please maintain order, please.
The bill also establishes a commission that will oversee the implementation of the bill. So a governance structure is well captured. This bill covers the following sections: ICT, manufacturing and power sector, marine sector, health sector, agriculture and agro-allied sector, and the funding of the bill will not also, the commission when established, will not add additional burden on the government. The idea is the same, borrowed from what we have in the Nigerian Content Bill, that the commission will raise her own fund from participants in these sectors and in fact generate revenue for the government. In effect, the establishment of the council and directorates of the council are not expected to place any financial burden whatsoever on the federal government. Rather, they will drive their own revenue and also add revenue to the coffers of government. In summary, the advantages of the bill, when passed, is that it will open up the economy. An example is the solid mineral sector. It will allow for local participation, not a situation where today you have foreigners. From my experience in the oil and gas sector, I don't think that we should go through that route again to wait until we are properly exploited by foreigners in other sectors outside oil and gas before we start talking about local content. I think that we should be proactive, start early enough to ensure that we take charge of these sectors before they develop fully. That way we'll have expertise. That way our youth will also be employed in these sectors outside oil and gas. So I will urge you, my dear colleagues, to support this bill with the speed of light. Let it be passed and let our economy begin to expand and grow and then diversify. We will no longer depend only on the oil sector for the economy to generate revenue. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, my dear colleagues.
Honorable Jaha.
Support. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, Ahmed Jaha Babao is my name. I represent Chibok, Dambua, and Goza Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, on record, including the remaining 87 not yet recovered Chibok girls. Mr. Speaker, let me congratulate the leader of the minority for having the ability and the capacity to not only conceive the idea of the establishment of such non-oil and gas local content, but his ability to present accurately, particularly mentioning the advantages of having such Commission. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, we should understand that Nigeria's population, by prediction, is going to be 440 million by the year 2050, and that is going to place Nigeria third most populous country in the world. Mr. Speaker, by relying on a monolithic economy, where you have a very single source to derive the economic process, that particular country is in danger. With this, all issues of exchange rate, economic issues, to mention but a few, can be diversified, where you have foreign direct investors who are interested to come and invest in the country, bearing in mind that local content has been expanded for Nigeria's economic growth. So I urge our honorable colleagues to strongly support this. This is a Nigerian Nigerian bill. It's a Nigerian bill in the sense that it's going to improve not only the economy of the country, but it's going to place the country to compete effectively with our other counterparts across the world. I thank you very much for the opportunity to contribute and urge our colleagues to equally contribute positively for the success of the bill. Thank you, sir.
Honorable Alamadaki.
Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, my name is Ali Usani Madaki, and I represent the Ala Federal Constituency of Kano State. Mr. Speaker, I stand this morning to lend my voice to this very important bill, which is, if passed into law, in my opinion, will reduce our over-dependence on oil as our main source of revenue. This bill, in my opinion and in the opinion of many learned colleagues, will reduce unemployment in this country. And very important factor, what we are suffering in this country, the issue of insecurity. Mr. Speaker, I believe if our youth become fully engaged, banditry and terrorism will be reduced to the barest minimum. And most importantly, our naira is being reduced to nothing. If this bill is fully implemented, I'm sure the strength of the naira will come back as we used to know it. And that will be of immense benefit to the whole country, not only to our economy, but even our internal stability. I'm therefore urging all my honorable colleagues to support this bill with the speed of light. I so submit, Mr. Speaker.
I think we can just go straight to put the question, unless if there is anyone who is against this bill. We can just go ahead. We have a very loaded paper. So I put the question, please. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. The bill is referred to the Committee on Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring. The second order of the day is the commencement of debate. Sorry, the clerk, read the long title, please.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to enact the Nigerian Content Non-Oil and Gas Sector Development, to establish the Nigerian Content Non-Oil and Gas Sector Development Council, and to provide for program and structure for the use of Nigerian expertise made in Nigeria goods and services, economic diversification, and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill referred to the Committee on Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring. The second order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act.
Honorable colleagues, please take your seat. Bob, Honorable Bob, please go back to your seat, please.
The second order of the day is the commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to establish Niger Delta Institute of Technology and Skills Acquisition, Bieri, River State, and to make comprehensive provisions for management, administration, and detailed identification of areas in technology, skills acquisition, and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Dako Dumanemene. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 18 July 2023. I now invite Honorable Dunamene to move that the bill be read for the second time.
Your Excellency, the Right Honorable Speaker, my very dear colleagues, I rise to move that a bill for an act to establish the Niger Delta Institute of Technology and Skills Acquisition, Berry, River State, and to make comprehensive provisions for management, administration, and detailed identification of areas in technology, skills acquisition, and for related matters be read the second time. I so move.
Any seconder? Yes, Honorable. Go ahead.
Right, Honorable Speaker. My name is Kalejaya Deboye Paul. I represent the good people of Ajeromi Felodun Federal Constituency, the mini Nigeria. I'm from Lagos State, the state of aquatic splendor. I rise this morning to second the motion ably moved by my dear colleague. I so second. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable, lead the debate.
The Right Honorable Speaker, my very dear colleagues, this bill seeks to establish the Niger Delta Institute of Technology and Skills Acquisition in Berry, River State. Mr. Speaker, the bill was first presented before the House in the 9th National Assembly. It passed through the first and second reading and was referred to the Committee on Science and Technology for further legislative actions. Unfortunately, funds were not provided at that point in time, and it was time-bound. The House ended. Mr. Speaker, the functions of this institute, when established, will include training of students and artisans and retraining of artisans and professionals to meet the latest requirements in technology, technical know-how, and skills development. Identifying the areas of technological and technical needs for the development of the economy and organizing training programs to meet those needs. Providing skill acquisition programs for Nigerian youth to enable them become self-employed. Mr. Speaker, in order to ensure an effective administration of the Institute, Section 2, subsection 1 of the bill provides for the constitution of a board of governors for the Institute. It consists of a chairman and other members to be appointed by the President. Their duty is to direct the affairs of the Institute. Section 4, Mr. Speaker and my colleagues, Section 4.1 provides for the appointment of a director for the Institute who shall be the chief executive of the Institute. He is to be responsible for the day-to-day running and management of the affairs of the Institute. Mr. Speaker, the level of unemployment in Nigeria today is giving the government very serious concerns, and the time has come to address such issues practically and very positively. Many of our youths in Nigeria have acquired certificates, diplomas, and degrees in different fields, but are presently unemployed because they have no special skills, or the skills they have are not in regular demand. Mr. Speaker, if this institute is established, its major function would be to train Nigerian youths to become skilled artisans in different vocations like plumbing, welding, carpentry, masonry,
Honorable
tiling,
colleagues, silence, please. Please
automobile
maintain decorum.
repairs, programming, website designs, etc. Once a person is trained in any of the aforementioned vocations, the demand would always be there for his services. Mr. Speaker, there is presently the death of skilled artisans in Nigeria. Many Chinese, Indians, and Japanese are doing what Nigerian artisans ought to be doing. Many builders and estate developers also go to neighboring West African countries to get skilled laborers. Mr. Speaker, another benefit, if this institute is established, is that it will provide employment for the people within and outside the area where the institute will be established. Section 3(1)(c) of the bill provides that the institute shall establish a residential campus in Bay River State and such other places as may be decided by the board. This means that the institute would have the capacity to admit and train many youth, and therefore thereby reduce militancy, particularly in the Niger Delta. You would recall, Mr. Speaker, that so much money is paid to young people within the Niger Delta, and the requisite training is not also given to them. We strongly believe that this institute will take many of them and many other Nigerians from other parts of the country into making them have gainful skills outside the stipends that are paid to them on a monthly basis. In view of these benefits, I want to urge my very dear colleagues to support this bill so that the needed impact will be felt in our society. Thank you very much.
Seconder or contribution? Contribution? Honorable, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My honorable colleagues, I remain Chief Dr. Billy Famous Adesuwa Osawaru. I represent the good people of Orion-Wode Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm a proud Benin chief from Edo State. Mr. Speaker, looking at the bill in front of us, I would like to commend the mover of this bill because we are in the 21st century. As somebody that lived in the United States for almost 30 years, Mr. Speaker, we have something we call continuing education. This is a program that is held almost on an annual basis that will help artisans catch up with modern technology. Mr. Speaker, we understand some of these institutions we have right now don't have this kind of benefits. So if we really want to play in the global scene, we must begin to encourage the establishment of institutions like this, whereby our artisans, our youths, they are not just acquiring knowledge for the sake of it, churning out graduates that are unemployable. We have to bring up graduates
or artisans that can play anywhere in the world. And such of this, if you look at this, it says number 1 here, training of students and artisans and retraining, I repeat, retraining of artisans and professionals to meet the newest requirements in technology, technical know-how, and skill development. This is a program that can even be run online as well as physically. So, Mr. Speaker, these are the kind of bills we want to encourage that is really up to date, so that the graduates we have, even when they finally decide to jack back, they will be very useful to the society they are going to. So that after 20 or 30 years, like myself, they will have a need to come back. And when they are coming back, they are coming back with a lot of experience too. Because we have seen Nigerians jack back, and they end up going there, maybe to go sweep the roads and do some other things, just because they are not employable as graduates. So, Mr. Speaker, again, I want to encourage this House for us to support this bill. Because of this continuing education program that we have in here, where we can continue not just train our people for 19th, 18th century, but we continue to train them for 21st, 22nd century to be up to date. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for letting me contribute to this bill.
You're welcome. Honorable Igariwe.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My very respected colleagues, my name is Honorable Igariwe Iduma Enwo. I represent Afikpo and Eda Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Ebonyi State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to speak very seriously in favor of this bill. Although it is an establishment bill, yet I feel very persuaded by the content of the lead debate to urge my colleagues to give it support. Mr. Speaker, the last bill we talked about was on local content. If we develop our local content the way that last bill spoke about, then we must have the trained Nigerians to fill those places, which is the essence of improving on our local content. So, Mr. Speaker, I took time to listen very carefully to this bill, and I think it will do a lot, it will go a long way in providing employment to the teeming youth we have in this country. It will help the economy, especially as we seek to diversify. We are all witnesses to the fact that even when you want to build a house in this country, most people, most artisans, most qualified, the kind of people we want to patronize, you look at us going for people from Togo, Ghana, because of the basic skills they have. So I think the essence of this bill is to develop that aspect of training for our young people. So I think we should give this bill all the support it needs so that it can become part of the laws of this country. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Martins.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning, honorable colleagues, or afternoon, sorry. My name is Honorable Martin Sesson. I am the member representing the good people of Oron, Mbo, Okobo, Udunko, Urefon Orugu Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Akwa Ibom State. Mr. Speaker, I rise this afternoon very happily to support and contribute to this wonderful bill as proposed by our honorable brother and colleague, Honorable Deco. A bill for an act to establish the Niger Delta Institute of Technology and Skills Acquisition. Mr. Speaker, today the youthful population of this country is over 60%. And you agree with me that 60% is majority. Mr. Speaker, by the statistics of the National Bureau of Statistics, the youth unemployment data in this country is about 50%. Mr. Speaker, what the youth of this country require at this time is skills. The youth of this country needs opportunities. The youth of this country need our support. The 10th House of Representatives is a very youthful, friendly assembly. And I'm very sure that my honorable colleagues will be very happy to support this bill for the multiplicity of benefits that this bill can bring to the youth of this country. Mr. Speaker, in the Niger Delta, where the sponsor of this bill is asking that this institute be cited, is an area where today there's some sort of crime, kidnapping, and all forms of vices. This bill is going to help to calm the situation, to help our youth to get something to do. I'm so interested in item 3 on the functions of the institute, which talks about providing skills acquisition programs for Nigerian youths to enable them become self-employed. So, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, this bill on its own seeks to provide an avenue for which our youth can be self-employed. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I want to ask that the honorable members should support this bill so that this bill can be passed for the benefit of the youth of this country who actually form the larger chunk of the people that elected us to come to the House of Representatives. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I so support.
I think we have, unless if you are going to speak against the bill, we have had enough. Are you, Honorable Kuye? Okay, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Respected colleagues, my name is Ademori Adeokuye. I speak for the people of Shomolu Federal Constituency and I'm from Lagos State. Mr. Speaker, I respectfully rise today to oppose the passage of this bill with all sense of responsibility and humility, and with knowledge of the situation that we are. Mr. Speaker, this is an establishment bill. From previous assemblies, we have passed so many others. And the executive, in obeisance and respect to the parliament, have assented to most of the bills that we have passed with respect to establishment of institutions. But just recently, Mr. President ordered for staggered establishment of most of these institutes because of the paucity of funds. Mr. Speaker, the Niger Delta area is already fully saturated with institutes like this. And there is no need for further multiplication and duplicity of institutes that are going to be carrying out the same functions. Mr. Speaker, apart from the 13% derivation that goes to the Niger Delta area, there is the NDDC that is equally mandated to ensure the development of the area. There is the Niger Delta Ministry, sir. There is the amnesty program that is already taking care of training and retraining in skill acquisition of the indigenes of the Niger Delta. They are training them home and abroad in skill acquisition. Mr. Speaker, sir, there is the PTDF. There is ITF that is established in every state, including the Niger Delta area, training people in skill acquisition. And then we come up to set up another one to say that money should be released for the establishment of the same kind of institute that will continue to do the same work that others are doing. Mr. Speaker, I think there must be, yes, there is a petroleum, God bless you. There is a petroleum training institute that is already there, training all these people in skill acquisition, how to mend, how to weld underground pipeline. They're already training them all of these things. So I don't know which one this one wants to do again, sir.
Honorable
Mr.
Solomon,
Speaker,
I can see
I
you.
pray, I want to move and call on the support of my colleagues that we step this one down for now, sir. I so move, sir.
Thank you for your contribution. So we just take two and put the question. Let's see if the sponsor has any comments to make. Honorable Bob Solomon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues. First, I rise to support the bill as proposed by my colleague, Unamne Deko. I rise to support the bill as proposed by the sponsor. But I'm a bit taken aback by some of the comments made by Honorable Kuye, supported by Defense Chairman Baba Jimmy. So I'm a bit taken aback because we all know NDDC is an instrument of state capture. NDDC, basically people say it's an instrument for national development. But we know that most of the funds of NDDC goes to people outside NDDC, outside the Niger Delta, including Lagos. We shouldn't come here and open our bowels. If I go to the facts here now, there will be a lot of dabbing in things like I release here that will make the arguments, really to no issue. So the mention NDDC, I mentioned Petroleum Institute. Petroleum Institute, trains higher cadre, people, not artisans, as DB seeks to do. So the argument of goes to no issue at all. This bill is a good bill. It will address a lot of the issues, restive issues, issues of youth employment and all that stuff around the area. We say, hold up, please, I have the floor. Now we say, the more the merrier. That's it, a popular aphorism. He said we have too much. We haven't got enough. Because we are the goose that lays the golden egg. Everything that supports infrastructure in Lagos, in Abuja, in Kaduna, in Zaria, everywhere is from Niger Delta. We can't have enough. And we don't have anything that is equivalent of what is being proposing. So the first equivalent try to, Honorable Kuye tried to cite, is irrelevant. The NDDC, like I said, is not an instrument for Niger Delta alone. As a matter of fact, it's been, as like I said, it has become an instrument of state capture. If they have 100 billion, 1 billion only gets to Niger Delta, 99 billion or thereabouts gets to the rest of the country. So we are even questioning ourselves now about the continuing relevance of that agency, seeing that he's been taken away from us. So I urge my colleagues to discountenance what Kuye said, and the support given to him by Chairman Defense, and pass this bill. Thank you.
Please, before I yield the floor to other members, the sponsor, maybe he has the right to respond to what Honorable Kwe said. If you have anything to say, if you don't, we can allow others to make their contributions and they will put the question. Unless you choose to do so.
Mr. Speaker, very most respectfully, my very dear colleagues, my dear colleague who is opposing this motion, in the first place, has a right to do so. And I appreciate his right to also do so. But in his attempt to say that there is a proliferation of institutes within the Niger Delta, he has failed to mention even one that seeks to carry out what is expected of this particular institute. Let me make particular reference to the fact that when we talk about the amnesty program, it's an interventionist program. And if you look at it very well, I believe very strongly that if such resources was pulled together and clusters were put in place where people can learn skills and get a craftsmanship in place, you will not be finding most of these issues of kidnap and all of that we find around the place. This particular bill, Mr. Speaker, seeks to address a particular problem, which is the dearth of skills. And it is all over the country. It is not also meant for only those from the Niger Delta.
Please summarize.
So I would want to say that even by our normal parliamentary procedures here, there is no precedent, because there is no precedent to say that there is an institution that is put in one place that another one cannot come. So I'd want to say that my colleagues should kindly support this bill because to address the larger question in Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Honorable Inua.
Mr. Speaker, my fellow colleagues, I am Right Honorable Inua Garba, member representing Yamatu Deba Federal Constituency from Gombe State. Mr. Speaker, I solemnly believe that the sponsor of this bill is very, very informed, is very, very aware of the situation we are facing in this country. Why did I say so? It's because of the fact that if you look at what China is doing today, sir, majority of the people that are coming here from China are artisans, not engineers, not professionals in other lines, but through artisanship, sir. If we definitely want to solve major problems of insecurity, youth restiveness, lack of employment, and the unemployability of our youth, we must create skill acquisition hub in almost each of the geopolitical zones of this country, where majority of the youth will have the skills on artisanship for them to be able to compete with those that are coming from outside Nigeria to take over what we are supposed to be doing. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, my dear honorable colleagues, this bill is not about Niger Delta zone, it's about Nigeria. Like the mover of the motion said, somebody from Luko, my village in Yamatu Deba, from my constituency can go to the same place and acquire knowledge, have certificates and knowledge, and work in the United States of America. So let us look broad, let us look smart, and I wish and hope, pray that my honorable colleagues will give this bill a breathing space so that it can see the light of the day. This is my contribution, sir.
Thank you. I think we have taken enough. We'll just put the question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Aye. Those against should say nay. Nay. The ayes have it. The clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to establish Niger Delta Institute of Technology and Skills Acquisition, BIRI, Rivers State, and to make comprehensive provisions for management, administration, and detailed identification of areas in technology, skills acquisition, and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill referred to the Committee on Niger Delta Commission, Science and Technology, and Information Technology. The third order of the day is the commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to establish Federal College of Health Sciences, Gaya, Kano State, and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Mustafa Tijani, honorable members will recall that the bill was read for the first time on Wednesday, 5th July 2023. I now invite Honorable Tijani to move that the motion be read for the second time.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Dr. Gali Mustafa Tijani, representing the good people of Albasu, Gaya, Ajingi Federal Constituency. I'm from Kano State, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move a bill for an act to establish Federal College of Health Sciences, Gaya, Kano State for related matters, to be read for the second time. I so moved, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Honorable Gimba.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am Honorable Zainab Gimba. I represent Bamangala Kalabalge Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Borno State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the bill moved by Honorable Mustafa Tijani. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable, please lead the debate.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, thank you for giving me the opportunity to lead the debate. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, you may recall that this bill was read in this floor on 25th July 2023. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, Gaya is one of the 44 local governments in Kano State with rapid growth of population, second to the Kano city, as well as vast land for the development. Mr. Speaker, as representative of the people, it's become pertinent for us to focus and address the impending challenges that may face us as a nation by establishing health institutions in order to address issues associated with increasing population and frequent outbreak of diseases. We notice—
Honorable Kafilat, Honorable Kafilat, where are you going?
Mr. Speaker, the kernel of this debate is the fact that experience has shown that highly specialized Federal College of Health institutions are more productive, better equipped with specialized consultants, and thereby making better diagnosis. This informed the need for the establishment of the Federal College of Health Sciences, Gaya, Kano State, to cater specifically for the vast area of the health science sector. The objective of this bill, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, is to establish the Federal College of Health Sciences, Gaya, Kano State, in order to achieve, among other things, 1, national growth. Mr. Speaker, the health sector is one of the indices that is used to measure national growth or the level of development of any nation. The economic development and progress of any nation depend to a large extent on the health care system. The health sector plays a major role in the economic development and progress of any nation. Manpower development and self-reliance in the health sector. This college, if established, Mr. Speaker, is expected to midwife high-level manpower development in the health sector and ensure self-dependence, which are germane to the national growth and development. A healthy nation guarantees healthy workforce, which increases productivity and in turn creates wealth. Number 2, expansion of access to medical education. Mr. Speaker, the establishment of this Federal College of Health Sciences is necessitated by the ever-increasing call and growing need to revamp institutions of medical education in Nigeria. The content of this bill, Mr. Speaker, is that this bill has 5 parts. Part 1 has clauses from 1 to clause 3. Part 2 has clause 4 to 8. Part 3 has clauses 9 to 23. Part 4 has clauses 26 to 33. Part 5 has clauses 34 to 43. No, it's circulated. Yes. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, it is common knowledge that the health need of the teeming Nigerian population put enormous strength and stress on the national infrastructure and available health personnel. When established, this Federal College of Health Sciences, Gaya, will certainly increase the number of health personnel to the health sector and therefore command potential economic benefit as the health industry opens. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, Federal College of Health Sciences, Gaya, will be an institution that will focus and be committed to teaching and research in health sciences and health-related disciplines. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I submit to you that establishing Federal College of Health Sciences, Gaya, will be a giant step in the right direction. It is in view of this and many other valid points enumerated above, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I urge you to please support these bills and recommend its accelerated passage. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I think this is a straightforward bill. It's an establishment bill. We don't need to waste any time on it. With your kind permission, I will just go ahead and put the question. Oh, seconder already. Okay. Let me see. Honorable Oshoba.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My distinguished colleagues, Olumide Oshoba, representing Abeokuta North, Obafemi and Odeda Federal Constituency. I rise to second this bill as ably moved by my distinguished colleague. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This bill is referred to the Committee on Health Institutions. The fourth order of the day is a motion Clerk, read the long title.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to establish Federal College of Health Sciences, Gaya, Kano State, and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill referred to the Committee on Health Institutions. The fourth order of the day is a motion on the need to construct 65 kilometers road, rural access road within Makarfi, Kutan Federal Constituency of Kaduna State, standing in the name of Honorable Umar Shehu Ajilo and 6 other honorable members. Honorable Ajilo is hereby invited to move the motion.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My dear colleagues, I remain Honorable Umar Ajilo, member representing a very good and wonderful people of Makarfi Kudan Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I am from Kaduna State. Mr. Speaker, this afternoon, I have a motion that need to construct the 65 kilometers of rural access road within Makarfi Kudan Federal Constituency of Kaduna State. Mr. Speaker, the House note that the Makarfi Kudan Federal Constituency in Kaduna State, it is an agrarian community which engage in both wheat seasons farming for annual crops such as sugarcane, maize, millet, beans, and soya beans, and irrigation farming for perishable crops like tomatoes, pepper, cabbage, and other species of vegetables for their own subsistence. Mr. Speaker, worried that about the lack of rural access road network linking the farms to other towns and nearby states where their farms produce, it is in high demand, preventing farmers produce from reaching the market and causing significant economic loss. Mr. Speaker, also worry that the most existing access road linking the farmers to the main road have recently been washed off by the flood, particularly in villages like Lukoro, Lafia, Dambami, Jaja, Donguziri, Marke, Nasarawandoya, Ruma, Gimiwot of Kudan and Makarfi local government areas of Kaduna State, respectively. Mr. Speaker, cognizance of the need to construct the 65 of rural access road of Kudan Makarfi Federal Constituency to facilitate the transportations of farm products to neighboring communities and states. Mr. Speaker, the House resolved to ask the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security to include the construction of 65 kilometers rural access road within the agrarian communities of Makarfi Kudan Federal Constituency of Kaduna State in 2024 appropriations budget estimate to aid the transportations of farms produce to the market. Mr. Speaker, our second prayer is to mandate the Committee on Appropriation to ensure the full compliance. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, are so moved. Thank you.
Any seconder? Honorable Etete?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues. My name is Ete Opolupo. I represent the good people of Eke, Una, Isrege, and Iba Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I come from Akwa Ibom State. I rise this afternoon to second the motion ably moved by my colleague. I so moved. I so second.
Thank you. This is an